What's up, guys? I'm the Wrestlegamer. Welcome back to Let's Play Sakura Maid here on the arcade. And on the last episode, apparently there's a reason why they don't need it. They don't need. I don't even know how to put it. Apparently, there's a reason now why they don't have guys around this mansion, because apparently the plants do the job for them. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. All I'm gonna say is just watch the last episode. I could have skipped past it, but apparently my curiosity got the better of me. What is the next item on the master's list? It was cleaning the dining hall. Oh yes, I remember now. It was getting rather dusty in there as Master left it unused for quite a while. I was intending to clean it eventually, but there was simply no time. Thinking about that makes me feel a little depressed. No, I cannot think like that. If Master asks me to do this, then I shall do it. When she sees the well-polished floors and gleaming silverware, she will surely be pleased. That is right, becoming depressed now is not going to achieve anything, especially after what you did with a plant. All that matters is doing the best job I can for my master. It has been some time since we have had a banquet. Master's influence is quite well known to the local community. She has a number of interesting guests who love to stay with us. Once again, I find myself curious about who they are and why they're here. I am happy to not stick my nose where it does not belong. They're a master's guest, and that is the only important thing. I run my finger over the grand dining table. Despite my best efforts, I cannot help but frown again. Master only takes her meals in her room, so we do not make use of the dining hall often. If she's asking me to clean it now, then I can only presume that she plans to bring company home, which is all the more reason for me to do my best. I cannot help but feel a little giddy, imagining all of the praise that they will give me. You're telling us that one maid cleaned this entire manor while you're away? That is right, Master would say. She is my one and only servant. She is truly an amazing maid. And maybe Master will smile at me. I cannot help but let out a little squeal of joy as I think about that, as if he weren't squealing but the plant. Oops, maybe I should not get into the habit of talking to myself. Good maids keep their thoughts to themselves. Now then, is there some way I can do this more quickly? No, it is not good to cut corners. Master would disapprove of taking the lazy approach, and she would not be back in some time. There is no approach other than hard work. But that's not a problem. Happily, I retrieve a fresh water cloth. All of this dirt and grime shall be no match for me. This table will sparkle like a cut gem when I am done with it. Excuse me, ha. Or I pant heavily as I lean against the wall. It was not easy, but I did it. The silverware is polished, the candlesticks have fresh wicks, and all of the furniture has been wiped down, and my eternal enemy has been banished for a little while. You won't be back for ages, Dust. Looking over my handiwork, I began to fret a little bit. Is everything in the right place? I began to check over everything again. Unfortunately, I get a bit nervous when Master has guests over. Everything has to be in its right place. Looking over my work again, it appears that nothing is out of place. I really do worry too much. I'm glad. It does not pay to fret needlessly. Who will Master be bringing home with her, I wonder? I could not help but become excited at the thought of someone visiting. Maybe it's artists, sculptors, or minstrels. Makes me wonder about the timeline and setting of this place. She is very fond of those types. Or maybe it'll be one of those engineers again. It is not good for a maid. I guess it is not good for a maid to be overly curious of her master's affairs. Why are there so many typos in these visual novels games? I've seen it all over in the Sakura games. I've seen it all over in Time Tenchi, and it's here as well. I know that I keep repeating that, but I am only human. When you are in the background of someone else's life, you cannot help but pick up certain things. I am happy for her, though. Whatever her affairs are, I am certain that she is doing something wonderful for the world. Now then, I've caught my breath. What else needs to be done? Let's have a look. Have the sundries ready. She really is planning to throw a banquet. I'm so excited. She only has one when something big is going to happen. I feel even more motivated to do my best for her. Oh geez, we're back in the garden. After setting the table with a jar of sundries, I set out for my next task. The garden needs to be weeded. Master does keep more mundane plants towards the front of the house, but they're no less pretty. Now, are all of you ready? We would not want Master's guests to be disappointed when they arrive, do we? An ugly weed sprouts next to a daisy, blocking the sun's rays. Now, aren't you a bully? I'm afraid that we cannot have you picking on those weaker than you. I pull the little devil out by his roots and throw him away. There we go. Isn't it much better? The flower's colors seem to be so much more vivid in the sunlight. I'm glad you agree. Looking around, I cannot help but feel a little indignant when I see more of those ugly weeds sprouting from the soil. Oh, you really have to make it hard, don't you? You all could have found a much nicer place away from my master's garden. I just shake my head. Well, if you plan to be that way, then I will show you what a maid can do. It is hard work, and work I admit that I am not entirely used to. Master usually goes out here once a month to weed it herself, but since she's not here, I will do the best I can. Why do your roots have to be so deep? Although residents in the garden can be a little bit more difficult at times, they are gentlemen. These nasty little fellows are very, very rude. Not only do they intrude where they're not wanted, they also have the gall to steal from the residents of this manor. Now, that is certainly something I cannot overlook, in spite of how stubborn they're being. I wonder when Master will be home. She did not say where she was going this time. Such a mysterious woman. When I was hired, she said she needed a maid with discretion. I always needed a maid with a discretion. What the hell does her master do? Well, I would like to say that I was attracted to this job because I possessed the qualities she needed. What I will say is instead that I wanted to be with her. She looked like she needed someone who could understand and support her. While I do not know what it is she does, I do understand that her and her little habits. And, well, a maid can also be a maiden, can't she? I'm not sure where she's going with that, but I do sincerely love her. So I will have everything ready in order when she comes back. The garden looks so much better without all of those spindly little invaders. Well, it may be wrong for me to say this, but I am rather proud of my work. I am certain that Master will be proud of it too. Hopefully she will be back in a timely manner. Perhaps I do not need to rush through these tasks. But if she comes back early and they're not done, she would be disappointed. And as a maid, it's my very pride at stake here. So I will rise up to the challenge no matter how great it is. Oh my, it seems that there is an unusual spillage in the hallway. A translucent gel appears to be coating the floor. Do not tell me we have another invited guest somewhere. Such guests are not unusual in my master's household. I bend over and examine the trail more closely. We're going to need a lot of soap to clean this, and a good mop. When I find whoever did this, they're going to get a very stern talking to. Only silence echoes through the halls. Quietly, I retrieve the mop and bucket and get to work. Who in the world would see a lovely, freshly cleaned floor and think this is a good place to make it dirty again? I imagine that Master would be very cross if she found out who they were. Now, where does this trail lead to? I follow the gel, making sure that I do not miss a single drop of it. It leads all throughout the halls, almost creating a labyrinth-like trail. Wherever this invited guest be wandering to. If you can hear me, you had best stop running away. I will have you know that I do not appreciate people who create unnecessary messes in my master's household. That should be messes, probably. The more you try to escape from me, the more cross I will be when I catch up with you. It appears that the trail is leading to one of the more unused parts of the manor. Yet another one of the places where I have not had the time to properly clean. The trail seems to lead outside of all places. However, my intuition as a maid is telling me that something is not quite right here. Should I follow the trail outside? Master did tell me once that if I see anything I feel isn't quite right, that she would not scold me if I simply ignored it. Patreon only? I guess the only option I can do, guys, is to not follow it. It's another game. It's a free game, but apparently there are options where I have to like pledge like $5 to their Patreon, which I did, and they provided me with a code. I put the code in, and apparently it's still not working. So I guess it's a bug in the game. I'm not sure, but don't worry. I'm gonna edit out all of that stuff. So since we can't proceed, well then, I'll trust Master's word on the matter. I mean, has to trust their senses after all. You had best not come back. I'll be very cross if I have to clean up after you again. I know I have already placed the sundries in their jars. And there's plenty of dried fruit, but I am not sure what sort of taste Master's guests will have. Maybe they would prefer something more substantial than just fruit. We have smoked jerky as well. People can make their own jerky? I have no idea. She did not specify what sundries she would have preferred me to set out on the table. Then again, she only asked me to have the sundries ready. Does not necessarily mean that she wanted me to set them out on the dining table. What's wrong with my voice today? Oh, Master, don't even put that thought in my head. I do not want to get sick. Well, we'll discuss that after I'm done recording. You will always give me such simple instructions, yet they make me fret like this. If I could only read your mind and understand your exact desires, and maybe understand what is that you're feeling in your heart. Oh dear, I'm letting inappropriate thoughts run wild in my mind again. Whatever would Master think if she knew that her maid would held such things in her heart? There is no way to know that, unfortunately. Now then, everyone. Are we all looking our best for today? I look over all the silverware again. Sparkling clean. Master will be very pleased when her guests arrive. It's best to check over your work before you decide you are satisfied with it. When I first arrived here, I was a bit too eager to finish my work quickly, as opposed to ensuring quality. Master did not say much, but I cannot imagine she did not enjoy seeing dirty spots on the silverware. As much as I do not enjoy checking over my work again, it is simply something that must be done. One last quick look. Oh, a dirty spot. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm glad no one else here saw this mistake. A little bit of polish later, the ugly-looking spot disappears. I'm glad that didn't have a chance to become a permanent stain. It may seem like a small thing to worry about, but mistakes are mostly glaring when they are among long stretches of success. I'd better check over all of it again. After meticulously checking all of the silverware, I have confirmed that there are no more stains left over. I swear Master certainly does go through a lot of silverware. But it would be overstepping my boundaries as a servant to tell her to correct this. What did Master desire of me next? Well, before we find that out, guys and gals, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. If you guys liked the video, make sure you slam the like button like a champ. And if you guys want to see more of Sakura Maid here on the arcade, you know the way to do it. You got to hit that subscribe button down below. So with that being said, I am your friendly neighborhood Wrestlegamer, and I will see you next time right here on WGS-TV. Bye, guys!